Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello. It feels different, right?
Yeah, it feels different to be on this part of the conversation. I am Joy Olu. Welcome to the conversation.
All right, that's how it is. Never say never. Anybody can be anywhere, but you've been so used to having me there.
Yes.
Now you are here.
Yes.
I think we should do this often.
Yeah, we should.
You should be on the pedestal more often. All right, so just Joe and I are in the studio this morning, but I tell you, it will be an interesting conversation with us on the program today. You won't miss all the other part of the team because Joe and I, of course, will also fill in the gap for the rest of us. Of course, we'll take our news points today as we start the program fully. All right, since we're still basking in the euphoria of the 2024 Women Conference, Joy, let's take your news point.
All right, Sanwo-Olu, Akwa Ibom governors, authors advocate women's inclusion in governance for better impact. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his Akwa Ibom counterpart, Umo Eno, and other well-meaning Nigerians yesterday called for the inclusion of women in governance towards driving impactful process of enriching communities at all levels. Eno, who spoke as a guest of honor during the opening ceremony of the 24th National Women's Conference of the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials, Cowslo, with the theme Soar Beyond Boundaries and Reach Communities, said that it is expedient to factor women into the process of governance to ensure quick, positive and visible results. The Akwa Ibom governor, who was represented by his deputy, said that the Women's Conference was not just an ordinary one, but a confluence of cerebral minds that is forging ideas to expand the frontiers of development, especially at the home front. Our dear Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu here, promised that his administration will continue to provide templates meant to empower women and make them more relevant in all spheres of government. He also pledged his administration's commitment to serve Lagos residents better and create more opportunities for women, youth and businesses where everyone can live their full potential in line with the Themes Plus development agenda of his administration. But I must also take this in her welcome address, the wife of Lagos State Governor and chairman of Cowslo, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, urged women to be selfless and push beyond boundaries to enrich the communities they belong towards breaking barriers on gender imbalance in the society. She said something very important. She said women make invaluable contributions across various sectors, and their influence is paramount in shaping a progressive and equitable world, adding that priority must be accorded to their well-being. And I would stand on that women make invaluable contributions. And it goes further to say that a life of a woman is a life of sacrifice.
And a life of service as well.
Yes.
You know, we said it here yesterday that women are blessed because we multitask. You find women doing different things at the same time. She's the homekeeper, she's the boss at work, she's
the cook.
She's the cook,
she's the cleaner.
She's the cleaner. She's doing so many things, and yet she also has to sit in the boardroom and make various decisions. So if you'd like to tally all of the things that a woman does, you just might not be able to find you know, something tangible to, or something more meaningful to say than saying that she's invaluable. I mean, the value is immensely too much.
Far above rubies, that's what people say.
Too much. But again, we would go back to the fact that, you know, women, yes, sometimes we also limit ourselves. And we tend to want to be served a la carte. Sometimes you have to fight for the recognition. And when fighting for the recognition, it's not about, you know, the physical fight. It is just the fact that you probably have to do more than twice the man to get noticed for what you do. But, you know, wherever women are, we also must support ourselves.
Yes,
and stop carrying this toga of women don't like themselves. You know, a lot of people saying women will never support themselves, but I sometimes I also say it's not in all situations that happens. Yes, maybe of course we have a little bit of envy around our agenda. But again, if you can't do it alone, So you also have to work with other women to realize your potential and get to that top. And there's enough room at the top.
Yeah, I'm glad that we'll be
to
looking at this topic.
Yes, to look at this today.
During the Lagos segment, so please don't miss it.
Right, of course, that conversation will be here much later on the program today. Let's take our second news point this morning, and this time round, the federal government of Nigeria is saying to Joe Ajaero, nobody is above the law, says FG. Now, the story says the federal government yesterday rejected accusation of rights abuse made against it by the United Kingdom Trade Union Congress over the arrest of Joe Ajaero, president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, insisting that nobody, including the NLC president, is above the law in Nigeria. Recall that president of the NLC, Mr. Joe Ajaero, was arrested and detained by the Department of State Services, DSS, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, en route London to attend a conference of the TUC. The federal government, in a statement by the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, said the NLC president was arrested by operatives of the DSS because he refused to honor the invitation of a law enforcement agency carrying out an investigation. I'm quickly just going to go to one other paragraph that might make sense to the story. Government's position came, okay, this is even as the SSS yesterday said its presence at the Abuja office of SERAP did not amount to invasion, adding that its operatives were there for investigation. So the presidency was clearing the air on this particular situation, and well, part of what we're also looking at today is the fact that on the program we'll also be looking at the rights of Nigerians in a democracy. How can you all stay within the confines of the law as individuals and government as well? Everyone has a right to protect.
But yesterday, according to the reports that they've been read yesterday, the invitation is for 16th of September, right?
Well, that was what was said.
So if we are not yet on the 16th is not here yet. So how has it breached?
Well, let's see.
There are some things that we don't
understand. Let's see how this will play out eventually at the end of the day. All right, let's quickly run to the X platform this morning and take a look at our hashtag for today. Now, this was the first open debate by the two top presidential candidates in the United States of America, talking about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And of course, Kamala Harris is trending, according to report, for putting Donald Trump where he belongs. Yesterday.
We must say that they are two strong contenders.
True.
They are two strong contenders. And for Kamala, America has never had a female president. So
yes,
kind of rooting for her, though.
Well, I do hope, of course, America can also be a very dynamic country. But I do hope that indeed all of the social media support will amount to people actually voting on election day, and maybe also giving Kamala Harris the opportunity to prove herself beyond reasonable doubts that indeed she can do the job. Right, you can head to the X platform to take a further read on why Kamala Harris is trending today. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. We will quickly gloss over our column for today. Welcome back to the program. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Of course, our column today is coming from the Punch newspaper, and it is titled Tinubu Let Nigerians Breathe. And of course, it is written by Jide Ojo.